With Star Wars Episode 7 on the way, I think one of the things people are probably the most excited for is Bootlegs trying to cash in on it! No, that's just me. Alright, so here we have the bootleg figures that claim to be for Star Wars Episode 7. I'm sure Darth Maul will play a very important part in Episode 7. So while these guys have Episode 7 slapped onto their card, they're actually bootlegs of the Star Wars Black Series. I do love, though, on the back of their cards, they also added a little promo blurb about The Force Awakens. And I do believe they copied a quote mid-sentence here since it starts uncapitalized. The Force Awakens is set approximately 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. And features 3 new leads alongside characters returning from previous Star Wars, like clone troopers. Turns out those stupid Boba Fett stormtrooper hybrids were still around, they were just being lazy. Well, they certainly did a masterful job of packaging Darth Vader here. They just got that insert a little off, but episode whatever. The actual Star Wars Black Series packaging also features a picture of the character you're actually getting rather than them all just being Darth Vader. It's pretty sweet that they remember Darth Vader's classic weapon choice of dual-wielding blue lightsabers. Oh yeah, Darth Maul did that too. It was the #1 choice of the dark Sith side. See, Luke only has one. That's how you know he's good. You might also be noticing something on these guys that the real Black Series lack, and that's a Try-Me light. So, get ready to be blown away by... nothing. Oh, don't worry, that Darth Vader's just a defect. These quality figures wouldn't want to rip you off or anything. Here's one that works. Yay. Look, sir. Chest lights. Why? Yeah, once again we got that classic Chinese bootleg thing of sticking a red chest light in them because... who doesn't love a bright red chest light? Ooh, but R2's is a little different. And his button is conveniently on the top of his head. All you have to do is just try to get in there and still show it to the camera. Yay. Now, one of the things about the Black Series figures is they're pretty high quality as they have nice detailing and they're highly articulated, and these bootlegs don't quite have the same standard. And I know, that's a surprise from Bootlegs. This tint on Vader's eyes kind of makes it look more like he's wearing big 80s shades, so you kind of gotta love that. I was also fairly impressed that they kept the feature of being able to take off his helmet. I thought that'd be something that the bootleggers would remove for sure. And he may be a little cockeyed, but if this had been Hayden Christensen under the mask, it'd go straight in the garbage. The cape material isn't too impressive and is pretty see-through, though I'm glad it isn't made out of garbage bag material, I suppose. Now, here's one of the problems, of course, with highly articulated bootlegs. The limbs are going to pop off rather easily. In fact, Darth Maul's left leg fell off on me just taking him out of the package. Well, I put his leg back on, but then I twisted his wrist. Big mistake. I guess R2's the one out of this set who really keep things together, since his legs are just on a peg joint. I do like R2 with his demon eye, though. I know his eye switches from red to blue, but still, just that bright red light shining from it, it makes him look a bit more menacing. Phantom menacing, no. Now, R2 does have his third leg inside of him there, but I don't know if there's any way to get this to come out. It seems particularly stuck in there. He also comes with leg attachments, so you can stick these on the side of them if you really want to. There, that looks good, I guess. Or you can stick these ones on them, which at least push in a little bit nicer, though I'm worried those might be a stupid prequel rockets. Darth Maul also comes with an extra head so that he can recite all those classic Darth Maul lines to himself. At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last you'll have revenge. Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I'll find them quickly, Master. Fear. Fear.com.com. I'm Darth Maul. He might not have said that one. Alright, the real reason for the second head is if you want Darth Maul to go cloakless and don't want him to have that balding, empty back of the head look. Personally, though, this is my favorite look for Darth Maul. Wait, there. Now it's perfect. Or if you actually want to put his second head on his neck, there you go, Mr. Cross-Eyed Sith Master. And if you want to stick the cloak back on him with this head, it looks absolutely perfect. So I don't know what the point of this stupid thing was. Except, at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge. Of the Sith. I'll be dead by that one. Clone Trooper is... okay. Really okay. But Gavin Felth is better. And this guy's actually a sand trooper, so he's a bit closer to being an accurate Gavin Felth. Though of course he didn't have a black shoulder pad thingy. Then again, he didn't have a chest light either, did he? Look, sir. These probably are the two that fare the best in this set. I mean, except for that black shoulder pad thing. But of course, limbs popping off is an issue with all of them. Now, as for Luke... I kinda hate to make this comparison, but he does look like Luke from the Holiday Special. In the Holiday Special, Mark Hamill had heavy makeup on because of his car accident, and this figure kind of has that same off look about it. And his X-Wing gear is what he is wearing in the Holiday Special, and it's complete with his life daylight. Let's walk in space! What the shit? And he looks really good with his helmet on, not silly at all. And here's what happens when you try to take his helmet off. These figures are great. Hey look, all I had to do was play head swap, and now I pretty much got Luke from Return of the Jedi. Take that, bootleggers, don't need to buy that one from you. If you made it, I don't know. And who can forget classic Pilot Maul? At last I will reveal myself as an X-Wing pilot. At last I will do it my way! Look, sir! What the fuck? Dun dun dun! I get that reference! And now I can recreate that classic scene of too many blue lightsabers. Which, by the way, I switched one of Vader's hands out to do because this one wouldn't hold the lightsaber very well. But who can forget the even classicer scene of when R2-D2 cut Darth Maul's hand off after he revealed that the prequels were a lie. Look, sir, you're dead. Okay, if Darth Vader somehow returns in The Force Awakens, he better be riding a T-Rex. That's all I'm saying. Also, let's go ahead and have him and Luke jousting on dinosaurs. I see no reason why this shouldn't happen. Well, when you really compare these bootlegs next to the actual Black Series figures, you can see how much detail they're missing. With the real figures, all the accessories were painted, and overall, the real ones have a lot more detailing going on. The Sand Trooper even had sand stuck all over him, while the bootleg is completely clean. While these are a clear downgrade, they're pretty decent in a lot of ways for bootlegs, and I'm impressed they kept so much articulation on these guys. That said, if they didn't constantly fall apart because of them keeping all the articulation points, they'd score a lot higher. Almost every time I went to pose these guys, I'd have to fight with a limb and pop it back in. And when they weren't doing that, they were falling over because of the extremely loose loose lag joints. And of course, every time Vader fell over, the top of his helmet would go flying off. Also, the rubbery flaps on Darth Maul decide to start falling off, and they won't really go back together. Speaking of Maul, surprisingly, you can actually place two of these lightsabers together to get the double-bladed saber. It's just they don't exactly fit together perfectly. And while having a double-bladed blue saber is neat, it's not exactly correct, is it? 6. These are straight up Black Series bootlegs. The only points where they really have much change from the original figures is just due to laziness. The most creative thing they really did here was slapping episode 7 on the cards to try and cash in on the new movie, 2. There isn't anything all that weird going on with these guys, besides some doofy eyes, but again, that's just due to laziness, 1. While some of the Black Series figures came in box-type packaging, there was a carded version as well, and these copied that package almost exactly. They just didn't vary up the artwork on the front and back for each character like the real ones did, and slapped on a couple Force Awakens references, and I do love how sloppy the quote on the back was put on. I do particularly like Vader force choking beside the choking hazard warning. That's a rather cute touch that doesn't seem to be on the real ones. 4. No. Again, if it wasn't for the constant limbs popping off, these could score higher here, but even without that, the actual line looks so much nicer than these silly bootlegs. 4. And the bootleg zones overall is 5! I do love that bootlegs for The Force Awakens showed up before the actual merchandise, though when it's just bootlegs of something that had already been out for a while, it wasn't too hard for them to pull off. They are decent enough looking, but a lack of a lot of the details and the rather poor realization of these highly articulated figures can get a bit irritating.
Luke, clone trooper of Ni, never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, Luke.
Look, sir, I'm a Jedi.
Oh, you know what? Just screw it. Luke, how's your father?
Well, I suppose it could have been worse. At least I didn't find an angsty teen in there who was never likable, so his turn to the dark side never made that much of an impact.
Oh, have I got a surprise for you?
No!
You got that one from your father too, Luke.
Now damn it to hell.
At last I had my revenge. You're a Jedi, right?
Ah!
Hate that guy.